Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Hello everybody, this is Jim Lawyer here, and you're watching the OhioRAAM Show, the show about ultracycling and all things cycling in general. Hey Lee, how's it going today?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing great. A little down in the throat, but we'll hang in there.
Okay, well, yes, last week was my time to have bad throat, and hopefully I'll be able to deal with it here.
Oh, definitely.
Welcome everybody to the OhioRAAM Show once again, and we're here because of all the wonderful people who give hours and hours of time at our 3 staff time stations here in Ohio. Time stations 41 in Oxford, Ohio, 42 in Blanchester, 43 in Chillicothe, and I guess we should say those are Race Across America time stations.
Definitely.
And that's why we call it OhioRAAM. That name cropped up years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave it to us. I didn't, but it was picked out for us. And so we've just kept the name, although our concerns range way, way beyond RAM itself.
Exactly.
And we want to say a good word about Mike Minium too, Jim, the sign man. What a wonderful work he does to put the signs up here in Ohio. And again, if you would like to contribute a little bit to help Mike with the sign project, we would appreciate it. Go to our website, OhioRAAMshow.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see right up there at the top a place where you can make a donation. If you do, and you're going to be on RAM, or you're going to visit our time stations during the race, just save evidence that you made the contribution, drop by, and we'll give you a sign. $10 at the time stations, though, will get you a sign, and that helps Mike put one out on the road. And he loses 50, 60, 70 of those every year.
Yes.
And they are expensive.
Definitely.
And we used to say you could get 2 signs on the road for $10. Now it's one.
One.
So he does that out of his own pocket. We appreciate that so much.
Definitely.
So we want to thank all of you for following us on Facebook, for subscribing on YouTube. And if you haven't, please do so. And when you're on YouTube, be sure to ring that bell so you'll get notices. And on Facebook, when you see the show, just click where it says interested. And I think that's what it says, Jim, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Anyhow, down at the bottom, and just say you're interested. And I found out you get a 1 hour notice now, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
on Facebook.
Definitely. Yep.
And that's great. A reminder that to join us there. So please do that. Jim, comments and questions.
Yeah, if you're watching out there, please put your post your comments or questions for our guests or for us. And if don't have any questions or comments, just tell us where you're watching from. So that'll help us get you noticed.
Right. We'd just like to know where people are at. And
Yep.
we hope we've got some viewers from Europe now, since we're on a more convenient time for you. And what was I going to do here? In the news.
Yes, news.
We got a little video here from Vesna with Spiegel Bikes. Let's run it and then we'll talk about it.
All right.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Lee. I'm reporting from Slovenia. I have a very interesting guest here. So hi to everyone who's watching OhioRAAM show. I just want to say hi. I'm in Bled, Slovenia. I'm here with Damian, and he's going to introduce himself a little more. So let me give the word to Damian.
Hey, greetings from Slovenia. My name is Damian, but friends call me Dami Zupi, so please call me Dami Zupi. If we're talking about ultracycling, there's a huge event going on the 9th of June this year. It's in Croatia, and it's called Cro Ultra 24. Website is croultra.com. And it's basically ultracycling experience, ultracycling race in the length of 21 kilometers with 21 meters of elevation. All registrations are already opened. You can see them on our website, and at this very point I'm talking, we have, I think, more than 32 participants from over than 8 countries. So you are very, very well invited to see the website and check it out, please.
And that'll be the Cro Ultra, the Croatian 24-hour event on June the 9th. And the link to the website is in our show notes at OhioRAAMshow.com. But it's simply croultra.com. That's pretty easy if you want to learn more about that. And thank you, Vesna, for popping in here. We're always glad to see you. Just today, I found out that there is a series of videos on YouTube put on there by Lifetime Grand Prix. And it's called Call of a Lifetime, and it's 6 videos of gravel events. I use the word, Jim, gravel with some hesitancy because there's some people that grumble about that.
Yep.
Says a road is a road is a road. Well, you know, and we all know where that's coming from. But anyhow, it's I looked at the one on Unbound Gravel, but it's Sea Otter, Unbound Gravel, Crusher, the Leadville 100 mountain bike, the Shamagan, and the Big Sugar. So they're about 30 minutes in length. And again, on the show notes, OhioRAAMshow.com, there's a link. You can go, and the first one's there, and it'll just follow in order. Pretty well professionally done job. And like I said, I just found out about them about an hour before the show. So you know as much as I do now.
Outstanding.
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to have to check those out. I've heard of a few of those, but not the bottom 2.
Yeah. Okay. So any more news, Jim?
Not this week. We'll try to get some more news for next week. So all the RAM entries stayed the same, so we decided not to do them this week.
Not to do that this week.
Yep. Okay.
Well, next week we're going to go to the most remote city on earth, Perth, Australia. It's as far from Dayton, Ohio as you can get in this planet and still be in a city. And we're going to visit once again our good friend Sabine Bird there. She's doing some wonderful things with children and developing some races.
Yes.
And events in that remote part of the globe. And so we'll have Sabine on. Now, that's going to be at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Yep. Again, we always try to peg our shows so that it's at a good time for the audience at the location of the guest, and that would be 9 p.m. in Perth, Australia. But again, maybe it's a good time for you in Europe as well. And that'll be next week. With that, Jim, I think we ought to go to Austria.
All right. You want to bring him on, or you want me to?
You go ahead and bring him on.
All right. Let me get this. Okay, you got that out of the way. Thank you.
There we go. Hi, Philip. How are you?
We did.
You go,
both of us at the same time. There you go. We got you.
Jim and I we're not very well coordinated, as you can tell.
We're giving it a shot.
Philip, how are you in Austria? Are you hearing us, Philip?
I think when we lost him a little bit ago, when he came back on, we've got the delay again.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello.
Well, we've got a delay again there, so
It should get better as we have him
Okay.
on longer. So
yeah, we had that problem when he first before the show started, and it went away, but it's back again.
hmm
So, well, Philip, we spotted you as having a rather remarkable performance at the World Time Trial Championships
hmm
in Borrego. You turned out to be the winner, didn't you?
Yes, I won it. Yes, it was the first time Americans noticed me, I think.
Definitely, you did an awesome job. It was amazing.
What was your time there?
My time at the Borrego, I rode 531 miles, I think.
Wow.
I'm not sure in miles. I only know it in kilometers exactly.
That is amazing. Did you
Okay.
go ahead, Lee?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your how long you've been in cycling, how long you've been in ultra cycling. What have
Um,
you been doing?
I started cycling when I was, I think, 25 to 26 years old, as I started working on a nurse at an ICU. And till that, I was a smoker and smoked a pack a day. And saw all these patients and thought I will be there one time, I think. So I had to stop this lifestyle, and I got a bicycle and started to cycle. And after some years, I recognized that the only way to get better is to cycle more. And then there was one training ride. I met my crew chief, Bernhard Korn here, and that was 2015, where Christoph Strasser was riding RAM,
hmm
and he told me of this guy, and I thought, who the hell, who can do such a wild thing, ride so long, so far, and then my crew chief Bernhard told me that he did that in a four-person team already, and I thought, okay, maybe I can do this also. And the year after, 2016, some guys I know did the race around Austria in a two-person team. And then I thought, okay, if they can do it, I can also do it, but I will be faster. So I asked Bernhard to if he want to ride again, and then we did this 2 years in a row in a two-person team. And in the first year, we were second. In the second year, we won a race around Austria. And after that, he decided to retire from ultra cycling because he has a company and kids, and it was too much time for training. So I decided to take another step and try it alone. So this was the beginning, and since it's 2018, I ride alone.
Okay, now since you've been doing solo, what races did you start with, and what a little bit? I have your record over here, and we do have a record on the show notes
hmm
as well, but I don't have the dates, so I don't know at what point in that
Uh,
list you began a solo.
in 2018, I won the 24-hour Cup in Austria. There are three 24-hour races in Austria, and if you have the most kilometers, you win the cup. So I became first, fourth, and second in these races, and got the most kilometers and won the cup. And in this year, I did the race around Slovenia,
hmm
and I went on the third place. The year after, 2019, I I went to the Glocknerman and got second behind Ralf Bisegskor. And I had my first DNF at Race Around Austria 1500.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2020, I tried the Race Around Austria again, had the next DNF. And it was the year where the Race Around Niederösterreich was delayed because of the COVID, and it was delayed in September. And it was the nationals in Austria there for ultra cycling. So there were Christoph Strasser, maybe you know Robert Müller from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
all at the starting line, and I became second behind Christoph, but I forgot to register it for the nationals, so I didn't get second at the nationals. Only on the race. Yeah, it was a little mistake.
We all have them.
Yeah. Then the year 2021, I did the track record at the Race Around Austria 1500.
Mm-hmm.
It was also my first year with a Sherman's neck, and it I got the Sherman's neck about, I think it was 150 to 200 kilometers before the finish line, so it was okay to go this far with it. And the year after, 2022, I did the Race Around Austria and got the Sherman's neck again, but this year it was in after the Großglockner, we had to go for 700 kilometers to the finish. So I had a stiff neck. It's a emergency tool to stabilize the neck,
Mm-hmm.
and I went 1.5 days with this thing, so I couldn't move my head. I
Oh
had to
wow.
drink with as, such a thing, and it's only for carrying from an emergency to the hospital for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I wore that 1.5 days, so I I had all the scratches and was bloody there, and I couldn't wear it any longer, so I had to take it off. And I know if I can't go in the aero position, I won't be second or win the race. And this time I was third. And so I remembered this guy at the Ram where he put a Pringles on his stand and
Mm-hmm.
put his head on, but I didn't have this, so I used my my
Great.
hand like in school
Yep.
and rode this way for half a day,
Wow.
and so I became second again, and yeah, that's the story.
That's amazing.
It's kind of interesting. Who did we have on recently? Is planning on doing a race, and they had already before the race prepared their device for
Yep.
Schirmer's neck. You know, and I said it's kind of like taking your raincoat, along on a ride because that's a
It might rain. There you go.
sure sign you're not going to get any rain.
Exactly.
And I think that's kind of a wise thing. But it's pretty challenging to hold your head up like that, isn't it? And we do have some people sometimes that drop in here that aren't really familiar with ultra racing, but that's where it comes from. Just holding your head over in a position so long, your neck muscles give up, and they just
Mm-hmm.
can't hold your head up anymore. It's pretty common.
Yep. Are
Now,
you doing
I
any exercises to prevent that in the future, or is there anything you can do?
Yes, this year I have special exercises for my neck. I do it twice a week with weight training, and I will rise my air position. I think it's too extreme. It's okay for races for 1.5 days, but all races that are longer, it's too risky to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
So I have funny trainings nowadays. My girlfriend makes always funny pictures because it looks so crazy what things I have to do. But if it works, it's okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
hey, listen, we've got some people out there. Hey, just go to the comments section and tell
Tell us
us
where you're
where you're
watching.
from. I know some names of people who are out there, and I'm not going to name names yet. But why don't you give me a comment and tell me you're there and where
Before you
you're
get called
from?
out by Lee, exactly.
Yeah, I might name names, but not yet. Anyhow, uh, and you may have a question or comment for Philip. And I see that I must have misspelled your name in everything because you use two P's rather than one, do you not?
yeah,
Yeah.
Or
I
three
used to.
P's in your
Or
name. I'm sorry about
my,
that.
no problem. My mom started doing this. She chose the name.
Okay, very good. Um, well, I do want to interrupt the whole train here to say that you were an ICU nurse, and having been married to two nurses, I just want to say thank you for what you do. You still working in that profession, Philip?
Yes, but since my second year, I work only 20 hours a week because it was too much with the whole training. It's not the training itself, it's the recreational time. I
Hmm.
can't get ready for the next day, for the next training. I was always tired. It was too much. So I had to decide if I work less and train more or train less and work 40 hours. But I think you have only one time in your life such a chance, and yeah,
Yeah,
fuck the
definitely.
money.
I agree with that. I agree with that philosophy wholehearted.
Good priority choice.
I I I retire. My retirement would be a good bit better if I'd have lived out my or worked out my time. But I said, what the heck? It's time to ride my bike.
There you
So
go.
Yeah.
anyhow, well, Philip, uh, what are your plans for the immediate future or long-term future as far as cycling goes?
Yeah, the immediate future is the race around Niederösterreich again. It's in May, I think, and WUKA World Record. These two races I decided to uh, do it last year, but I had a back surgery, so the whole season was a bit difficult, and I didn't know if I can race 2022 or not.
Hmm.
So uh, I had to postpone these two events, so it will be this year. And after the WUKA world record, I will go to the race around Poland, which is the ultra cycling championships this year, and this will be really excited because I have to race against Rainer Steinberger. I have heard that Ralph will be on the start line again, so it will be really fun to race against these two guys.
Outstanding.
Okay, long term, what's your dream? Assuming that Jim would write you a check for any amount of money.
Okay, Lee, you got to raise my pay then.
Well, so money's no object. You got the
Yeah,
time to do it. What would you like to do?
well, my dream is to do once a lifetime the race across America. But if you are from Europe, it's so expensive. So I hope I can do it, but I don't know. If I do it, I want to do it good. So I have to travel early enough to the US,
Hmm.
go like every good racer to Borrego, stay there for 1 to 2 weeks, then go to Oceanside So I don't know if I can stay off from work for 1 month.
Hmm.
It's
What
I don't know what the future will bring, but I'm thinking about it.
unsupported? You do any thinking of any unsupported races, which are becoming quite popular?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's not your thing. What's your age, Philip?
I'm 37 now,
Oh,
but
okay.
in October I get 38. But I feeling more like 30.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're
I understand that.
in your
I'm about
prime.
32 in my mind, but when I get up in the morning, it's a little different. Yeah. Well, you're just kind of coming into the prime now, and
Hmm.
you've got the prime for ultra cyclists is somewhat older than people who are in stage racing. So you got a great many good years ahead of you.
I hope so. As as long as I have fun, I will do it. If it doesn't make fun, I will quit. That's what I think about the cycling thing.
I've been told that certain people in Austria have dried up the sponsor supply pretty good. But do you have sponsors? And
Yes, I have one big sponsor. It's Druckmittel.at. He's the CEO supports me really much. So without him, I couldn't race so much. I had to work more, and we will see what the championship will bring. There
Hmm.
are few things open now because it was so late and there was Christmas, and now I will have the chance to talk to some companies, but we will see what this brings and what they think about it, because the media in Austria hyped it really well. I was in the TV for sometimes. I was in the biggest printed medias in Austria. So it was really good for me to win this in Borrego.
okay, good, good. Listen, uh, on the show notes, you'll find a link to Philip's Facebook page. But is that where people can follow you and see what is happening in your life?
Yes, on Facebook and Instagram, but I do more in stories now. On only the big things I do a post. But I do not always. I'm not so consequent posting things because I focus on cycling and not thinking about what can be interesting for people. That's that's not my preference to show some special things to people. Always, when I have time and have an idea, I post a picture. But most of the time, I focus on my training.
Hmm.
But maybe I will make a funny picture of my neck training for you.
There you. That would be great. That would be nice to see and show people what you have to do to relieve that pressure on your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also on the show notes, Philip, we have a link to your website, and there's a place there they can contact you.
Hmm.
And hope you'll keep that up to date so people can follow you there as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Jim, got any questions?
No, but I think it's time for you to call out some of our viewers that haven't posted any comments or
Well,
questions.
I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are, and at least there's one person I know has been hanging in the background. I don't know if they're still there or not. I'd kind of like to get on the show at some time,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see how that works out.
Definitely.
Uh, and by the way, speaking of show, we're getting closer and closer to RAM, Jim,
I know it's right around the corner. I've already
and we're
started making.
scheduled. We're scheduled up into April now, so we've
Yep.
only got a few shots few slots left between now and then. We're looking forward to filling them with some really interesting guests. We've got some really interesting guests coming up
There you go.
in the future. Philip, thank you for being with us.
Definitely. A pleasure to meet you, sir.
Thank you for the invitation.
And we appreciate what you're doing. We want to thank everybody for watching out there. Be sure and follow us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. And go on to Facebook and give Philip a shout out there as well. So we'll be looking for that.
Definitely.
Hey, we'll see you next week with Sabine Bird. Bean Bird, as some of us call her.
Early show in the U.S.
Early in the U.S. Jim, I'll have to get up so early on set. I like to be here at least 2 hours ahead of time. And boy, oh boy, I don't know. You can't sleep in this Sunday, Jim.
Nope. We'll get her for you.
Okay.
All right.
I just hope my alarm clock goes off.
There you go.
Thanks, Philip. Don't go away. We'll stick around for a minute.
Definitely. Thank you again, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks, sir.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Greg, come here.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.